welcome to St. Paul's Universalist Church. And this looks like spring finally caught up with us. I know it has as far as pollen levels. In the way of announcements, this will be our last service here at St. Paul's until September 8th. That's the Sunday after Labor Day. However, starting next week, services will be held at our fellow UU church in Salisbury, just north of Dolgeville, 9:30 a.m. on most Sundays through August, with a couple of exceptions, and a list of the dates and speakers is in the church newsletter. Also, the annual pilgrimage service at our UU church neighbors at Barneveld will be on June 16th, I believe. It's Father's Day. The guest speaker will be Reverend Richard Gilbert. It is our tradition to end our regular services with a flower communion. I think most people here know how it works, but in case you don't, later in the service, there will be an opportunity for you to come up and partake from one of these two vases. Usually you take something different than what you brought, and if you didn't bring anything, that's okay. There's plenty up here. Okay, so don't let that discourage you. Let us proceed to our musical call to worship. I open our service with the words of late President John F. Kennedy. He said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." Today we will honor Memorial Day as well as our annual Flower Communion on this final Sunday of our regular church calendar year. And so I welcome you to our Sunday service, our opportunity to come together on our shared spiritual journeys. Each of us is like a flower. Sometimes we bloom, sometimes we close up, sometimes we stretch toward the sun, sometimes we feel more like weeds than the beautiful individuals that we are. But although we are separate beings, we come here to this place, this spiritual garden, and we know that each and every one of us is welcome. Please join me as we open with our chalice lighting. May this flame, symbol of transformation since time began, fire our curiosity, strengthen our wills, and sustain our courage. And our opening song is 159. Please remain standing and join me in the words of affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with one another and with our God. We are now at the time of the service where we share joys, sorrows, and concerns. And I have a couple, a sorrow and a joy, not the same. I learned yesterday of the passing of our friend, the Reverend Faith Scott. Her and her husband Peter were ministers to this church right around the turn of the 20th century, right? Late 90s into 2000. This is a candle of joy. Our daughter Natalie graduated from SUNY Oneonta with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in graphic design was it just last Saturday? Okay.
This is a candle of sorrow. I don't know how many of you knew Treva Peavy. She came to our church for about 18 months and then ended up at the Daughters of Sarah in Albany because of an Alzheimer's disease. And she died from complications. Her funeral will be here next week. This is a birthday candle. Today is my grandson Ben's birthday and also our great-granddaughter Lily. She turned 12. And since we won't be here in June, I want to wish my husband, my best friend, a father, a grandfather, and a great-grandfather a happy 90th birthday on June 14th.
I was recently reading how Memorial Day or Decoration Day was started after the Civil War by some ladies. So this is in honor of my Confederate ancestor who fought and my Union ancestor who fought, and I hope that we never end up at loggerheads with each other again like that. And then this one is, I kept forgetting to light a candle for travel mercies for my sister. Well, now she's back safe, so I'm glad of that.
Jeff, I forgot one birthday. There's my daughter Jennifer's birthday, 2 days after Marty's in June.
And this is Joy in a Transition for a friend of ours, Ira, from Fort Plain area. He was an artist and a mentor to many people in our groups, and an atheist, and a very kind and wonderful person, a man of peace. And he passed away this past Thursday. The other big concern, of course, is the inability to forgive in the world and to get past the hatred and the anger. And somehow on this day we should remember that this has gone on before and people have gotten over it somehow. And so this is a candle of hope as well as love.
This is a joy. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, our grandson Zachary turned 35, and on his birthday he had his appendix removed at Cooperstown Hospital. Now this week, his wife at 34 weeks pregnant, no, it was the 22nd, they had to go down to Cooperstown. She's having problems with her pregnancy. Then they decided they couldn't handle it. They sent her down to Albany Med, where on the 22nd of this month, she gave birth 2 weeks premature to a 4-pound, 14-ounce baby girl. And they named her Zoe Lynn, be Zoe Lynn Sweet, and everybody's doing fine. And Emily is staying at the Ronald McDonald House, so she gets to see the baby every day and spend time with the baby and breastfeed the baby.
I would light a final candle for any joys, sorrows, or concerns that go unspoken, but are in our hearts and minds, but we've lived them all. But no, those are for later. I will also apologize. I was looking at my service, and since we do this service every year, I based this service on last year, and I think last year was the last year that we didn't do the collection. So I hope you have your programs in front of you, because there aren't going to be any slides for the offering, which you will now give and receive to support the work, the wonder, and the witness of this community. In lieu of a regular sermon, I'm going to do a Memorial Day candlelight remembrance ceremony. We've done this for the last few years. And I might go off script a little bit here, because I've had some thoughts in throwing this together. I know I've shared the next couple of anecdotes that I'm about to relay before, but they bear repeating. Several years ago, I was visiting our late friend, Charlie Porter, and he was telling me about his experience of fighting on one of the many Pacific islands during World War II, and how he had tried to sleep in a foxhole that, because of rain, had partially filled up with water, trying to sleep in basically a puddle, knowing that just a few yards away, Japanese soldiers were doing the same thing, and that they would resume fighting in the morning. And several years before that, we were at one of our annual cluster services up in Salisbury. And I very clearly remember our dear departed friend, Matt Bylog, talking about his experience of fighting in the Pacific during the Second World War. He said he could recall looking out across the battlefield as the fighting raged and thinking to himself, why do we do this to each other? And that has always, and I think always will, stay with me. In 1940, Archibald MacLeish wrote that the young dead soldiers do not speak. They have a silence that speaks for them at night and when the clock counts. They say, we were young, we have died, remember us. And although it is often associated with cookouts and the unofficial start of summer, Memorial Day, it's not really intended to be a celebration. Rather, it is to be observed, examined, and witnessed on behalf of those who were the true witnesses of our human failure to love our neighbors as ourselves. They are ghosts now, haunting us with the gift of remembrance, so that we will not forget their lives or their sacrifices, but even more, that the grief of remembering will create in us a yearning for peace that will hopefully stir us to action. And pertinent to what Leah was saying, I recently finished a book about the 1913 reunion at Gettysburg. It was 50 years after the battle, and took quite a bit of organizing. And basically, any Civil War veterans who were still alive, and there were several thousand, they were in their 70s to early 90s, made the trek and stayed there over a week. And men coming together after 50 years earlier, fighting to the death. They didn't agree on everything. There were still issues about the Civil War. But they came together in a sense of peace and honor for the sacrifices that happened north and south. And it occurred to me when I finished that, the sacrifices, not only of soldiers during the American Civil War, but in all of America's wars. And I look at where we're at now, and certainly there have been other times. I was a baby at the end of the 60s, but I know there have been times in our country where there have been turmoil. And I would like to think that those men and women who sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice, would want us to work out our differences, to come together, to honor the principles for which they gave their lives, and basically get our act together as a country. As a symbol of our remembrance, we light candles today to honor those sacrifices of the men and women who gave their lives that we might know freedom, peace, and security. We light this candle for those who died while serving in the United States Army. This second candle is in honor of those who gave their lives in the United States Navy. With this candle, we honor the memories of those who lost their lives in the United States Marine Corps. This candle is in honor of those who gave their lives while serving in the Air Force. This candle is for those who served and gave their lives serving in the Coast Guard of our country. And finally, this last candle It's in memory of all the civilian men and women who died in the cause of peace. In honor of those we have known and loved in the past, in recognition of the gifts and sacrifices they have made on our behalf, freedom of religion for one, something we have every Sunday. And in our sincere hopes that we may be worthy of their memory, we light these candles, we give thanks, we offer our prayers. Amen. And let us now share a moment of silence in recognition of their memories and their sacrifices. Time-honored tradition here at St. Paul's is that on our final Sunday of the church calendar year, we observe a flower communion. Human beings have had a special relationship with flowers since prehistoric times. Indeed, one of the first signs of spirituality was the discovery of cavemen who had buried their dead with flowers in their graves. The Unitarian Universalist Flower Communion service, which we are about to celebrate, originated in 1923 by Dr. Norbert Čapek, founder of the modern Unitarian movement in Czechoslovakia. On the last Sunday before the summer recess of the Unitarian Church of Prague, all the children and adults participated in this colorful ritual, which gives concrete expression to the humanity-affirming principles of our liberal faith. When the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940, they found Dr. Čapek's gospel of the inherent worth and beauty of every human person to be, as Nazi court records show, too dangerous to the Reich for him to be allowed to live. Dr. Čapek was sent to Dachau, where he was killed the next year during a Nazi medical experiment. This gentle man suffered a cruel death, but his message of human hope and decency lives on through his flower communion ceremony, which is widely celebrated today. It is a noble and meaning-filled ritual we are about to recreate. This service includes the original prayers of Dr. Čapek to help us remember the principles and dreams for which he died. Our next song is number 76.
Oh
Let us pray. In the name of Providence, which implants in the seed the future of the tree and in the hearts of men and women the longing for people living in human love, in the name of the highest, in whom we move and who makes the mother and father, the brother and sister what they are, in the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrifice their lives to hasten the coming of peace and justice, let us renew our resolution, sincerely, to be real brothers and sisters, regardless of any kind of bar which estranges one from another. In this holy resolution, may we be strengthened, knowing that we are God's family, that one Spirit, the Spirit of love, unites us. And may we endeavor for a more perfect and more joyful life. Amen. Please join in song number 78. Which was actually written by Norbert Chapek. Oh, this was written by Norbert Chapek. Thank you, Mark. At this time, I would like to invite you, let's see, why don't we start on this side, and you can come up. Feel free to take whatever flower speaks to you. through color or fragrance or whatever your preference for flowers, and just come back around to where you're sitting. So we'll start here, and then that side can just follow along, and that way we won't collide. Take a look at what you are holding in your hand. If you have a flower, or you're looking here, or over my shoulder, what you are looking at is a miracle of evolution. Flowers and animal life co-evolved. The flowers they evolved color and fragrance to attract pollinating insects to them, and in that way the earth, it's one of the many ways that it reaches balance and supports and sustains life on this planet. So let us do a consecration upon those flowers. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask your blessing on these, your messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection, and devotion to your holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of your most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do your work in this world. Closing song is number 66. I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for coming out and supporting this small but mighty church. I want to thank Mark Bunce, our music director, for his many contributions to help us keep going. And absolutely. I want to thank David for feeding us. I want to thank the members of our board for their stewardship. I want to thank my wife for her support and for her recording skills. And for reminding me that my mother made a summer robe that I forgot I had. But anyway, thank you one and all. And we hope to see you at some of the services, or all of the services provided throughout the summer. I close with these words of Andrew Pacula. May you know fully and deeply the blessings of each of your heart's seasons, the inward turning of winter, springtime's lush renewal, the effortless, steady growth of summer, and autumn's rich harvest. May your passage from season to season be blessed, eased by hands to hold, and by the light of love to guide you on. And please join me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this chalice flame, daring to carry forward the vision of this free faith, that freedom, reason, and justice will one day prevail in this nation and across the earth.